Have you ever felt like your spiritual awakening was leading you somewhere profound, only to wake up one day feeling lost, disconnected, or even overwhelmed? Chosen ones, this isn't a sign that you've failed, it's an indication that your journey has hit a detour. Spiritual awakening is not a linear path. It's filled with peaks of clarity and valleys of confusion. Today, we're diving into the signs that your spiritual awakening journey might be off track, and more importantly, how to realign with your divine purpose. To begin, let's address the feeling of stagnation. You started this journey with fire in your soul. Meditation brought you peace, synchronicities felt like magical whispers from the universe, and you could sense your connection to something greater. But now, it feels like the fire has dimmed. The practices that once lit up your spirit feel hollow, as though you're just going through the motions. This is the first sign that your awakening might be off track: the loss of passion and inspiration. Why does this happen? Because awakening isn't just about moving forward, it's about integrating what you've learned. Think of it as climbing a mountain. You can't keep ascending endlessly without stopping to rest, reflect, and adjust your path. Often when the fire dims, it's not because you've lost your way, but because your soul is asking you to pause, to recalibrate, to go deeper. But instead of honoring this call, many of us try to push through, clinging to practices or beliefs that no longer resonate.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Here's a question to ask yourself: are you holding on to a version of your spiritual journey that no longer fits who you are becoming? Growth requires evolution, and sometimes that means letting go of the very tools that got you to this point. It's not about abandoning your path, it's about expanding it. Now, let's talk about overwhelm. Another clear sign that your spiritual awakening is off track is feeling burdened by the very journey that's meant to liberate you. You may have taken on too much, too many books, too many practices, too many ideas. Instead of feeling connected, you feel scattered, like your energy is being pulled in 1,000 directions. This isn't enlightenment, it's spiritual burnout. Overwhelm often stems from a subtle but powerful misconception that spiritual awakening is something you achieve, that there's a finish line, a point where you'll finally have all the answers. But the truth is, awakening isn't about achieving, it's about being. It's about peeling back the layers of conditioning and returning to the essence of who you are. And sometimes, the most profound spiritual growth comes not from doing more, but from doing less. Take a moment to reflect: are you chasing awakening, or are you allowing it to unfold? Are you filling your days with practices and rituals, or are you creating space for stillness? Remember, the universe doesn't need you to strive, it needs you to surrender, to trust that the answers you seek are already within you. The third sign that your journey may be veering off course is disconnection. This can manifest in two ways: disconnection from others and disconnection from yourself. Let's start with the former. Awakening often brings profound shifts in relationships. As you grow, your vibration changes, and not everyone will resonate with the new frequency you're operating on. It's natural for some relationships to fall away. But when this disconnection becomes isolation, when you start believing that no one understands you or that you're alone in your journey, that's when it becomes a problem. Disconnection from others is often a reflection of disconnection from yourself. When you're off track, it's easy to fall into patterns of self-judgment. You might think, why am I not progressing? Why do I feel stuck? This inner dialogue creates a gap between who you are and who you think you should be, making it hard to connect with others authentically. Here's a powerful truth: you don't need to have it all figured out to be worthy of connection. Vulnerability is a bridge, not a weakness. When you're feeling disconnected, reach out not from a place of needing answers, but from a place of sharing your humanity. You'll be amazed at how many people are walking a similar path, waiting for someone to open the door to connection. Let's shift to the fourth sign, doubt. Doubt is a natural part of the spiritual journey, but when it becomes chronic, it's a sign that you're off track. This isn't the healthy skepticism that questions beliefs to refine understanding. It's the paralyzing doubt that makes you question your entire path. Is this even real? Am I just fooling myself? These thoughts aren't random, they're a call to deepen your faith, not abandon it. Doubt often arises when you're out of alignment with your inner truth. Maybe you've adopted beliefs or practices that don't fully resonate with you. Maybe you're following someone else's idea of awakening instead of trusting your own intuition. When doubt creeps in, it's not a signal to quit, it's a signal to realign. To strip away the noise and return to what feels true for you. Here's a question to sit with: what does truth feel like in your body? Not what you think is true, but what you know is true in your bones. Awakening isn't about collecting truths from outside sources, it's about discovering the truth that's already within you. When you connect with this inner knowing, doubt loses its grip. Finally, let's address fear. Fear is the ultimate sign that your spiritual journey is off track. Not because fear is bad, it's a natural part of being human, but because fear thrives in the absence of trust. It's the voice that says, what if I'm not ready? What if I fail? What if this journey leads me nowhere? Fear isn't here to stop you, it's here to teach you. To show you where you're still holding on to control, where you're resisting the flow of life. The antidote to fear isn't courage, it's surrender. Courage is needed when you're fighting against something, but surrender is what allows you to flow with it. When fear arises, don't push it away. Welcome it. Sit with it. Ask it, what are you here to show me? You'll find that fear often points to the very areas where you're ready to grow. As we wrap up this first part, let me leave you with this: being off track is not a failure, it's part of the process. Every detour, every doubt, every moment of disconnection is an invitation to deepen your journey, to realign with your truth, to remember why you started this path in the first place. So, you felt the signs: stagnation, overwhelm, disconnection, doubt, and fear. These aren't indicators that you've failed, they're signals that your spiritual compass is slightly off course. And just like a navigator in unfamiliar terrain, you can recalibrate. Today we're diving into how to realign your spiritual awakening journey with practical, transformative steps, so you not only find your way but emerge stronger, clearer, and more connected to your purpose than ever before. Let's begin with a foundational truth: your awakening is unique. No two paths are the same, and that's precisely why spiritual detours happen. It's easy to compare your journey to others, especially in the age of social media, where everyone seems to be meditating on mountaintops or basking in endless peace. But comparison is a thief of authenticity. The first step in realignment is to honor the individuality of your path. Ask yourself, am I trying to fit my awakening into someone else's mold? If the answer is yes, it's time to strip away those external expectations and reconnect with your inner guidance. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through silence. Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's the presence of clarity. When your spiritual journey feels off track, it's often because you've lost touch with your inner voice amidst the noise of the world. Commit to a practice of daily silence, even if it's just 5 minutes. Sit in stillness, breathe deeply, and listen not for answers, but for the subtle whispers of your soul. Over time, this practice will create a space for your truth to surface, guiding you back to alignment. Now, let's address the stagnation that often accompanies a spiritual detour. When the fire of your awakening dims, it's a sign that you're being called to evolve. Spiritual practices that once brought you profound insights may no longer resonate, not because you've outgrown them entirely, but because they've served their purpose for this phase of your journey. Think of your spiritual toolkit as a wardrobe. Just as you change clothes with the seasons, you must adapt your practices to meet the current needs of your soul. Take inventory of your practices. Which ones feel energizing and which ones feel like obligations? Release what no longer serves you and experiment with new tools. If meditation feels stale, try breathwork. If journaling feels repetitive, explore creative outlets like painting or movement. Realignment often requires breaking out of routine and embracing the unknown with curiosity. Let's talk about overwhelm. In a world saturated with information, it's easy to feel like you're drowning in spiritual concepts and practices. But awakening isn't about accumulating knowledge, it's about embodying wisdom. If you're feeling scattered, it's time to simplify. Instead of trying to do it all, choose one or two practices that deeply resonate with you and commit to them wholeheartedly. Depth is more transformative than breadth. Here's a practical exercise: create a soul schedule. This isn't about rigid routines, it's about intentionality. Dedicate specific times in your day to practices that nourish your spirit. Maybe it's a morning meditation, an evening gratitude ritual, or a midday walk in nature. The key is consistency. When you show up for yourself regularly, you create a rhythm that aligns you with the flow of life. Now, let's address the disconnection that can make you feel isolated from others and yourself. Connection begins within. If you've been judging yourself for feeling off track, it's time to practice radical self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. Remind yourself that detours are a natural part of growth. Instead of asking, "Why am I stuck?" ask, "What is this moment teaching me?" This shift in perspective transforms self-criticism into self-inquiry, opening the door to deeper understanding. Reconnecting with others can feel daunting, especially if you've outgrown certain relationships. But remember, alignment attracts alignment. When you live authentically, you naturally draw people who resonate with your energy. Seek out communities, whether online or in person, where you feel seen and supported. And don't underestimate the power of vulnerability. Sharing your journey, even the messy parts, creates space for genuine connection. Now let's explore doubt. Chronic doubt often arises when you're disconnected from your inner truth. To overcome it, you must build trust not just in the universe, but in yourself. Start by reflecting on your journey so far. Write down moments when you felt guided, when synchronicities appeared, or when challenges transformed into blessings. This exercise reminds you of the unseen forces working in your favor, even when you can't perceive them in the moment. But trust isn't built on reflection alone, it requires action. Take small steps that align with your intuition, even if they feel uncertain. Each time you act on your inner guidance and see it lead to clarity or growth, you strengthen your faith in yourself. Over time, this trust becomes unshakable, serving as a compass that guides you through any spiritual detour. Finally, let's confront fear. Fear thrives in the absence of trust, but it also holds the key to your greatest growth. Instead of resisting fear, lean into it. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing and why? Often, fear arises when you're clinging to an old identity or belief that no longer aligns with your truth. Letting go is uncomfortable, but it's also liberating. Trust that whatever falls away is making space for something greater. But a powerful practice for releasing fear is visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the fear as a heavy object you're carrying. Feel its weight, its texture, its presence. Then visualize yourself setting it down, watching it dissolve into light. As you release it, affirm, I let go of what no longer serves me. I trust the unfolding of my journey. But Let me leave you with this question: what would it feel like to trust your awakening completely? To know in your heart that every detour, every challenge, and every doubt is part of a divine plan guiding you toward your highest self. This is the essence of realignment, not forcing your path to make sense, but surrendering to the wisdom of the journey. Are you ready to take this wisdom even deeper? To explore the tools and insights that will help you sustain your alignment and navigate future challenges with grace? Let's continue this journey. Chosen ones, as we move further into this journey, it's time to ask a profound question: how do we sustain spiritual alignment in a world that constantly pulls us in different directions? The truth is, realignment isn't a one-time fix, it's an ongoing process, a dance between your inner truth and the shifting dynamics of life. Today, we're going to uncover the tools, wisdom, and practices that will help you maintain your spiritual alignment no matter what challenges arise. Let's start by addressing the root of most spiritual misalignment: the push and pull between control and surrender. When your journey feels off track, it's often because you're trying too hard to control the outcome. You may be clinging to a specific idea of what awakening should look like, resisting the natural flow of your growth. But here's the paradox: the more you try to control your awakening, the more you block it. Spiritual alignment isn't about forcing your life into a rigid framework, it's about opening yourself to the flow of divine guidance. To sustain alignment, you must first let go of the need to control. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals or desires, it means releasing attachment to how they unfold. Imagine your spiritual journey as a river. When you try to control the current, you exhaust yourself paddling against the flow. But when you surrender, trusting that the river will guide you to the ocean, you move with grace and ease. Ask yourself, where am I resisting the flow in my life? What would happen if I trusted the journey, even when I can't see the destination? One of the most powerful tools for sustaining alignment is cultivating presence. Misalignment often happens when your mind is stuck in the past or projecting into the future. Presence brings you back to the only moment that matters now. When you're present, you become attuned to the subtle whispers of your intuition, the signs from the universe, and the deep knowing within your soul. Here's a practical exercise to strengthen your presence. Practice mindful awareness in everyday activities. Whether you're drinking your morning coffee, walking in nature, or even washing the dishes, bring your full attention to the experience. Notice the sensations, the sounds, the textures. This simple practice not only grounds you in the moment, but also creates space for spiritual insights to arise naturally. Another essential element of sustaining alignment is protecting your energy. As a chosen one, your energy is a beacon. It radiates light, but it can also attract external influences that drain or disrupt your vibration. To maintain alignment, you must be intentional about where and how you invest your energy. This means setting boundaries, both with others and with yourself. Let's talk about boundaries with others first. Not everyone in your life will understand or support your spiritual journey, and that's okay. But it's crucial to recognize when certain relationships are pulling you out of alignment. Ask yourself, do the people in my life uplift me, or do they leave me feeling drained? If it's the latter, it's time to set boundaries, not out of anger or resentment, but out of love for yourself and your path. Boundaries aren't just about saying no, they're about saying yes to what truly matters. When you set a boundary, you're creating space for what aligns with your highest good. This might mean limiting time with negative influences, stepping away from toxic environments, or prioritizing relationships that nurture your soul. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's essential. Now, let's address boundaries with yourself. Sometimes, The biggest energy drain comes not from others but from within. It's the habits, thoughts, and patterns that pull you out of alignment. For example, are you spending hours scrolling through social media, comparing your journey to others? Are you overcommitting to activities that leave you too exhausted to focus on your spiritual growth? Self-boundaries require discipline, but they're also an act of self-love. They remind you that your energy is sacred and that you have the power to direct it intentionally. Another key to sustaining alignment is cultivating gratitude. Gratitude is a vibrational match for alignment. It shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. When you're grateful, you're in tune with the frequency of the divine. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to see the blessings, even in difficult moments. Here's a powerful gratitude practice each evening. Write down 3 things you're grateful for that day. They don't have to be grand or profound. Sometimes the smallest moments carry the greatest blessings. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to notice and appreciate the positive aspects of your journey. And when you're rooted in gratitude, alignment becomes a natural state of being. Let's dive deeper into a concept that often gets overlooked: cycles of alignment and misalignment. Just as the moon waxes and wanes, your spiritual journey will have its ebbs and flows. There will be times when you feel deeply connected and times when you feel distant or uncertain. This isn't a sign of failure, it's the rhythm of growth. Each phase has its purpose. The moments of connection fuel your progress, while the moments of disconnection push you to reflect and recalibrate. To sustain alignment, embrace this cyclical nature. Instead of fearing misalignment, see it as an opportunity to deepen your understanding of yourself and your path. When you feel off track, ask yourself, what is this phase teaching me? What part of myself needs attention or healing? By approaching misalignment with curiosity rather than judgment, you transform it into a powerful tool for growth. Now, let's address a common challenge: staying aligned when life gets chaotic. The demands of work, family, and daily responsibilities can make it hard to prioritize your spiritual journey. But alignment doesn't require hours of meditation or elaborate rituals. It's about finding moments of connection amidst the chaos. Even a single deep breath, a brief moment of mindfulness, or a silent prayer can bring you back to center. Here's a practice for navigating chaos: create an anchor ritual. This is a simple, consistent practice that grounds you no matter what's happening around you. It could be a morning affirmation, lighting a candle before bed, or placing your hand on your heart and taking 3 deep breaths. The key is to make it sacred, even if it's brief. Your anchor becomes a reminder that alignment is always accessible, no matter how busy or overwhelmed you feel. Finally, let's explore the role of trust in sustaining alignment. Trust is the foundation of spiritual growth. It's what allows you to move forward even when the path is unclear. But trust isn't passive, it's an active choice you make every day. It's choosing to believe in your journey even when doubt creeps in. It's choosing to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. And it's choosing to trust yourself to know that you have the wisdom and strength to navigate whatever comes your way. Let me ask you this: what would it feel like to trust your journey completely? To release the need for certainty and surrender to the flow of life? Trust doesn't mean never feeling fear or doubt, it means moving forward despite them. When you cultivate trust, you align with the frequency of the divine, and the universe responds in kind. As we conclude this part, let's reflect on the essence of alignment. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. It's not about never straying from the path, it's about finding your way back when you do. Alignment is a practice, a choice, and a way of being that unfolds moment by moment. Are you ready to take the next step? to explore the deeper purpose of spiritual detours and how they shape your ultimate awakening. Let's continue this journey together. Chosen ones, we've traveled through the signs, the struggles, and the tools for sustaining spiritual alignment. Now, it's time to unveil the deeper truth. What if the very moments when you feel off track are not detours but divine resets? What if they're not interruptions, but invitations designed to catapult you into a level of awakening far beyond what you thought possible? In this final part, we will uncover how these spiritual detours are intricately woven into your ultimate purpose and how to embrace them as the catalyst they truly are. Let's begin with the question, what if being off track isn't off track at all? What if it's the universe's way of redirecting you to something greater? Often, we resist these moments because they don't align with our expectations. We cling to the idea of a perfect spiritual journey, forgetting that awakening is not a straight road but a spiral. Each time you circle back to a familiar challenge or feeling, you're revisiting it from a higher perspective, with greater wisdom and strength. Consider this: every time you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or disconnected, it's an opportunity to release something that no longer serves you. Detours strip away the illusions, attachments, and outdated beliefs that hold you back. They force you to confront what you've avoided and to integrate lessons you may have overlooked. In this way, being off track is not a setback, it's a sacred recalibration. To truly embrace this divine reset, we must shift our perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" This question transforms victimhood into empowerment. It reminds you that every challenge, no matter how difficult, carries a gift. But here's the key: you have to be willing to look for it. The universe is always speaking to you, even in the silence. Are you listening? One of the greatest gifts of a spiritual detour is the opportunity to deepen your self-awareness. When things feel off, it's often because a part of you is calling for attention. Maybe it's an old wound that needs healing, a hidden fear that needs facing, or a dormant strength that needs awakening. Take a moment to reflect: what part of you have you been neglecting? What truth have you been afraid to see? These are the questions that lead to profound breakthroughs. Let's talk about how to turn these detours into breakthroughs. The first step is acceptance. Resistance only prolongs the struggle. When you accept where you are, even if it's messy, uncomfortable, or confusing, you create space for transformation. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, it means surrendering to the process. It means trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't make sense right now. Here's a powerful exercise to practice acceptance the next time you feel off track. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart and say aloud, "I accept this moment exactly as it is. I trust that it is leading me to something greater." Repeat this as many times as you need until you feel a sense of peace. This simple act of surrender shifts your energy from resistance to flow, allowing the divine to guide you. Once you've accepted where you are, the next step is to take inspired action. Spiritual detours often reveal what's no longer working in your life, whether it's a habit, a belief, or even a relationship. But awareness alone isn't enough. You must be willing to make changes. Ask yourself, what small step can I take today to realign with my truth? It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Sometimes, the smallest actions, like setting a boundary, journaling your thoughts, or reaching out for support, have the most profound impact. One of the most transformative actions you can take is to reconnect with your why. Why did you begin this journey in the first place? What called you to awaken? When you reconnect with your purpose, you reignite the fire within you. Your why is the anchor that keeps you steady, even in the midst of uncertainty. Write it down. Meditate on it. Let it guide your decisions and remind you of the bigger picture. Let's shift to the deeper purpose of these detours: growth. Growth is rarely comfortable, and that's by design. Comfort zones may feel safe, but they're not where transformation happens. Spiritual detours push you out of the familiar, forcing you to stretch, adapt, and evolve. They challenge you to step into your power and to trust in your ability to navigate the unknown. But here's the truth most people don't talk about: growth isn't always about becoming something new. Sometimes it's about remembering who you've always been. Detours strip away the layers of conditioning, fear, and doubt that obscure your true essence. They remind you that the answers you're seeking are not out there, they're within you. Awakening is not about finding yourself, it's about coming home to yourself. Let me ask you something: when was the last time you truly celebrated your growth? Not your achievements, but the inner shifts, the courage to face your fears, the resilience to keep going when things felt impossible. Spiritual detours are not just about learning lessons, they're about recognizing how far you've come. Take a moment to honor your journey. Celebrate the strength it takes to walk this path, even when it feels uncertain. Now, let's explore the ultimate truth about spiritual detours. They're not obstacles, they're initiations. Every time you overcome a challenge, you're stepping into a higher version of yourself. You're shedding what no longer serves you and embracing the fullness of your divine potential. Detours are the universe's way of preparing you for the next level of your awakening. They're not here to break you, they're here to shape you. One of the most profound aspects of this process is the realization that you're never truly alone. Even in your darkest moments, the divine is walking with you, guiding you, and holding space for your growth. The signs, synchronicities, and intuitive nudges you've experienced are not coincidences, they're breadcrumbs, leading you back to alignment. Trust them. Trust yourself. As we conclude this journey together, let's reflect on the essence of spiritual alignment. It's not about avoiding detours, it's about embracing them. It's about seeing every moment, every challenge, and every step as part of a divine plan. Alignment isn't a destination, it's a way of being. It's the choice to show up for yourself, again and again, no matter how many times you fall. Let me leave you with one final question. What would it look like to live your life fully aligned with your truth? To trust that every detour is leading you closer to your purpose. To know, in your heart, that you are exactly where you're meant to be. The answer lies within you, chosen one. And as you continue this journey, may you walk with the unshakable knowing that you are guided, loved, and divinely supported. You are the light. You are the path. You are the awakening. The world is waiting for your truth. Step into it fully and watch as the universe aligns to meet you.